Y'all work with me, man. I just said a whole bunch of stuff that I should have been recording, but I wasn't recording. You know what I'm saying? So don't mind me. Don't worry about the shine or none of this stuff. I just got to pick up and try to go back to where I was so we can catch up. We say I'm a widow and I'm out here single, socializing. Almost make me feel guilty sometimes. It do. And like I was saying, you being a widow, I understand why you feel guilty because you want to remain faithful to your friend, your best friend, your husband. You feel like you had a happy marriage, and anything beyond that right there is a betrayal. And I told you it ain't never what you do, it's always how you do it. So what I meant by when I said it ain't never what you do is how you do it in your situation is you're not wrong for finding another husband or another man because your husband has died. And I know that's hard. But as I said, you did it the right way and you waited. Now it ain't like you cheating because you are fully single. You see what I'm saying? And not only that, you being married means that the man you was with was a real man. And I was explaining to you, it's just like when a man go to prison, and he will tell his woman, baby, you got to find somebody else because I really can't do nothing for you right now. And she don't always understand it. So I'm breaking down to her and I'm telling her it's like this. When your man is used to protecting you and providing for you and being there for you and making sure that you're safe, and the motherfucking judge has put him in a situation or anything in life, you know what I'm saying? In her situation, she lost her husband. So the situation is that he's not there to provide or protect her, to be her best friend, to comfort her at night, to get her through the lonely days, to encourage her, to motivate her. But just like that man in prison, I'm sure your husband would want you to have that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure in your husband's absence that he wants you to have somebody that's protecting you and providing for you and making sure the lights is on and the water is on and the clothes is on your back and the food is in the refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? That's how a man is when he love a woman. And sometimes he got to sacrifice knowing that it's some other things going to go down, but if it's going to be a situation where she taken care of, then it is what it is. I can't do it. And with that being said, I done been in this situation where I done had to tell a female that. And you usually get that response like, nah, baby, I'm not fit to do that. I can't do that. I love you. I'm going to ride it out. And I'm not telling you not to ride it out, but what I'm telling you is, I want you to have what's best for you and what's in your best interest. It's just like I had to break it down to her and tell her about my dog. And I'm like, look, if I was going out of town or I was going to go do something, if I was going to jail, then I would want my dog to be somewhere where I know she's going to be loved, she's going to be took care of, she's going to be in the house because she's not an outside dog. I don't want her sleeping outside, no doghouse tied to a tree, no stuff like that. So I want somebody that's going to feed her, love her, take care of her, make sure she's straight. Like I would. So I'm not going to leave her at home by herself. I'm going to take her somewhere where somebody going to love on her and take care of her. It's the same thing with you. You got to get in a situation where somebody's taking care of you. If it ain't even just financially, because she say that she financially stable, she can handle that herself. Her kids are grown, moved out. It's just that she lonely. But the thing is, you got to look at your life because you get one life. And you got to decide that whatever going to be in my life, I want it to be the best for me. I don't want to go through the lonely days. You know what I'm saying? Lonely ain't a good feeling. Sometimes you want some alone time, but you don't never want to be lonely. You know what I'm saying? You don't never want to look up and it's the Christmas time or any holiday or birthday or something. You ain't got nobody to share. You know what I'm saying? When your accomplishment come, accomplishments don't really mean nothing if you don't got nobody to share it with. Being for real. Like I can give you the perfect example on that. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I was seeing something the other day and it was like Jay-Z and Beyonce just bought this beachfront mansion, private beach, 400 million, 200 million, something like that. And I'm thinking, you just wasted all that money. And I know broke people be like, what you mean waste the money? She got a beach. Okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever put some playground equipment in the backyard and your kid go back there and they'll play with that shit 2 or 3 times and then it's a year later and they don't even fuck with it no more? Imagine buying a whole beach. Imagine buying a whole beach and your kids go out there and play in the water once, maybe twice. Go out there and build a sandcastle once, maybe twice. You pay $400 million for this beach. And then you realize this is a private beach. There's nobody out here on the beach. It ain't the same. Yeah, once or twice you might want to go out there and enjoy the sunset and lay back on the beach. But then when you look around, there's nobody out here playing volleyball. There's nobody laying around. There's nobody selling hot dogs. There's no this, there's no that. There's no boardwalk, no entertainment. Nigga, just you, the sunset, and the ocean. Man, that shit get old. Every day, there's no new sounds out here, just ain't no laughter, no none of that. You just bought a beach and can't even enjoy it. There's no beach activities on your beach. Man, get out of here. You can't bring people to your house. You Jay-Z and Beyonce, you can't have friends over here. You can't even have some lunch over your house. That's loneliness. There are no kids coming to play with your kids. They gonna grow up weird like Jaden and Willow and them. I don't wanna hear that. And I know that y'all got all the money tricks, and you know they got all the money tricks. Like, Beyonce been putting writer's credit on her daughter since she was like 2 years old. That little girl got writer's credit on the movie Lion King. Couldn't even spell. But I'm just saying, let's get back to you and your situation. I'm just saying that loneliness sucks. And people don't always realize that your money ain't gonna get you out of your loneliness. So, you know what I'm saying? You at a point where you got to decide that you ready to start your new chapter of your life. Like, I don't know how old you are, but I'm pretty sure you ain't one foot in the grave. So you got a lot of living to do. Because, you know what I'm saying, you got a lot. Dude, at 43, you might not even be halfway done with your life. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to tell you something. How long was you, your kids are grown, but listen what I'm trying to tell you. How long was you married? 13 years. Do you know in 14 years, you could have a 14-year marriage that lasted longer than the husband you grieving over right now? I'm saying 14 years from today, you could have a marriage that's lasted longer than that. That's how it works. I'm going to tell you something. Because people get to a certain age, and they start feeling like it's over with for them. In the state I live in, there's a married couple that have been married 90 years this year. The man is, no. Yeah, they've been married 90 years. And the woman is 103. And her husband is 109. Now, this is the thing about it. If you ask them, they're going to tell you. When we got married, she was 13. He was 19. A lot of people was against that marriage. Boy, you know you too old for the little girl. Girl, what is you marrying a grown man for? This ain't going to work. Y'all ought to be ashamed of y'allself. All type of stuff. Now, I told you they've been married 90 years. So pretty much their marriage has lasted longer than the lives of all the people who told them not to get married. Now, they talk to these people on the news every year on their anniversary. And one time I know I heard them say something to the effect of this. Our marriage lasts because we make it last. You got to realize, when you married for 90 years, there's things that you're going to go through after 10 years of marriage that can end your marriage. But you just got to say, I married you for a reason, and we're going to get back to the love one day. So then you make it 20 years, and you got to realize you're going to have some arguments and some fights. After 20 years, man, you don't know what this man done did or this woman done did in 20 years. Cheating, beating, you know what I'm saying, outside kids. You don't, 20 years in a marriage, you don't know. So we ain't gonna say 30, let's get to 40 years. And let's say they done had kids, they kids grown, they got grandkids. He done had 3 or 4 outside kids, grandkids with another woman. They still married though. And she could have divorced him and left him 20 years ago when he had that daughter. But now she loved that girl just as much as she loved her own kids. And them grandkids love her too. Now think about this. 50 years, 60 years. It is so many things that went on that they done argued about and they done fought about. But guess what? Them things that was happening at 10 years, they don't even remember what it was no more. The shit they were fighting about when they was married for 20 years, they don't even remember what the fights and argument was about. Now just imagine if they would have ended their marriage after 20 years. And now 50 years in the marriage, you don't even remember what the hell you was fighting about. You got cancer. You ain't worried about no outside kids from 30 years ago. But not only do you got cancer, you still got a husband that is holding your hand and sticking beside you through this cancer. Now you done beat cancer. It's 5 years down the line. You've been married 55 years to this dude. Y'all done been through ups. You done been through downs. You done been through cancer. You done been through extra kids. You done been through scary nights where almost, you know what I'm saying? You probably been through some jail sentences. Ain't no telling. You been through having money. You done been through being broke. You 70 years into it. Hold on. Let me pause and see what's going on. All right, I'm back. But I don't remember exactly where I was. But put it like this. When they get all the way up to 90 years of marriage, and this woman done had 3 different bouts with cancer, and he done been by her side every step of the way, and he done been through accidents at work and then lost a leg and all this other stuff. You see what I'm saying? It's so many things go on within a marriage that could end it. And these days, our generation ain't tough enough to endure and push on through this stuff. The women look at it and be like, oh, my grandma was a fool. My grandma was a slave, sitting at home, cooking and cleaning and taking care of kids, and he out here cheating. Man, let me tell you something. The way the world works, pause. Let me pause it one time. All right, so, move. When you go through all that, you got to realize it seemed hard, but after 90 years, and the answer to everything and keeping your marriage going is just stay together. That's easy as hell. Because I'm going to tell you the real thing. The ups and downs you go through in your relationship, you're going to go through in every relationship. And if you think you're going to find somebody who's so perfect for you that y'all ain't never going to argue, never going to fight, I'm going to tell you from experience. That's cool while it lasts. But when you with that person that you never argue with, you never fight, you never disagree, you better hope it don't never happen. Because the first time it happened, either somebody going to die or it's just over with. I'm just going to be real. One of y'all gonna kill each other, or y'all just gonna get away from each other. It's gonna be over with. Give me a second. Now, when you have a relationship where you don't fuss and fight, the thing about that is, the reason for it is the communication skills. You see what I'm saying? Either you got a person who knows how to communicate and talk so things don't become a problem. And it ain't that you ain't fussing and fighting. It's that you working shit out before it get to the fussing and fighting. Sometimes you, like I was explaining to you, you have a man. And this just ain't any man. But you have a man who don't want to argue with you. You see what I'm saying? It's like he just don't want to argue with you. We could have the same talk with somebody else and I'd be ready to kick their ass. But you my woman and you gonna talk to you and it's like, all right. In my head, I'm like, you wrong with a motherfucker. But in my heart, I'm gonna be like, okay, baby. You know what I'm saying? And that be the difference. A lot of women these days can't and won't never find a man like that because they looking for the pockets. And I've been telling people, to, look, and this ain't no knock on what nobody got going on. I'm just going to keep it 100. I keep the shit real. I don't give a fuck what the next dude think about what I got to say. But I'm just being real. If you as a woman are chasing a man that got the house, got the car, got the job, got the jewelry, got all that shit that you impressed by, he already got all this. You ain't help him get none of that. Then you, my dear, are at the bottom of the totem pole. You were the last thing chosen because you were the last thing of significance. Meaning, know your place and know your fucking role. Because if you came for all of this that I already accumulated, so will she and so will she. So stay in your place or I'll move you over there and I can move her over here. She want to ride in the A7. She want to have the bills paid when she get home. You know what I'm saying? She like the dreads. She want to pull on her, so you might want to watch how you talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't got to put the pimp pan down. I got a pimp stroll too. I walk on off. Or better yet, I reverse it. I send you that away. It just is what it is. All I'm saying is, know your partner, know your role, and play your role. Don't sit back and expect to find a man or a woman that's gonna be all of these things and they don't get nothing in return. You see what I'm saying? You got to realize if you want a king, then damn it, you might want to treat him like a king. These dudes that you treat like a peasant and then you walk around and you ride around and you lay around with them. Queens don't lay with the peasants. Kings don't lay with the peasants. So what I'm saying is, pick who you is. But don't keep picking peasants and thinking you a king or a queen. And if you want to be that and you can't get that, then create that. Get with that man and motivate him to go get a better job. Motivate him to get that wild shit off his head, shave up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Motivate that man to go work out. And do it by doing it yourself. Be what you want. You know what I'm saying? When you look in the mirror, if your stomach hanging over your belt, you don't look at him and tell him, you need to go work out. Look at him and say, baby, what you think about us getting some gym memberships so we can go work out? By summertime, we gonna be the shit couple around here. They gonna hate us. Yeah, we should be sexy as hell right here. Motivate your woman, motivate your man to be what you want them to be. Stop going to look out for something that's already microwave ready. Because I'm trying to tell you, it's everything in life is how you do it, not what you're doing, man. If you want your respect, you got to give that respect. You got to play the game how it go with all frames of the game. So when you walk into a room, shit, the way you carry yourself, the way you act, and what you put out is determine what you're going to get out of that room. Because I guarantee you, if I walk in a room and there's 100 people in there, and you walk in a room and there's 100 people in that room, we're not going to leave the room with the same amount of knowledge and respect. Because I'm going to walk through that room and I'm going to go looking for the knowledge. I'm going to go put my respect down and I'm going to leave out with a lot of it. I don't know how you going to act or how you going to handle yourself. But like I say, it's different. I tell people, it's like, look, yeah, I still got the murders. Don't judge me. We looking at the same situation, but what you see and what I see is totally different. You see what I'm saying? Your point of view and my point of view. Now we both right. We both looking at the same can of murder. We agree. But if you get to reading out the words, you can see, and I'm reading out the words I see, they ain't gonna add up. So it's a respect thing, like I say. Sometimes you just gotta give them their respect. Everybody right. Give your partner their respect. Look at things from their point of view. Just because they don't see what you see don't mean they wrong. And just because you see something different don't mean you wrong. Anyway, we're going to pretty much get ready to wrap this conversation up. I hope I helped you, and I hope I helped somebody out here too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we do it, man. We do it the long way, not the wrong way.